Ogre, look at me, baby boy. Look at your little cowboy hat. Look at you. Oh, this is so great. I love it. I love it.
Right, Mom? But I do plan on avoiding your nest.
Oh, basically every
Did you already wipe down one of the other windows? Is that how you know the wood is not like safe on this side?
No, I promise.
Oh. Well, that's why she told me to come in here, is to save you in case you fell. On to the next one. And then we're doing fair cleanup. Graceland's scrubbing chicken cages and Gwen is cleaning windows. So here's a quick flip through of all the pages. I've got my task page here, written by my task block page, or followed by my task block page, where we can see how I did on what. Here is the weekly overview, which I messed up a lot, but you know what? It's a work in progress. And then we got each of our daily pages, which are not filled in yet. Sometimes I come in here ahead of time and fill in my 3 things if I know it's going to be, like the fact that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are work, so I'll put that in. Like Thursday is fair, Friday will be fair, Saturday will be divisionals, Sunday will be divisionals. So like I'll put in a couple of my focus things depending on what I have filled in here. But I try to leave it as open as possible until I get to those daily pages. So like on Sunday night, I will go ahead and fill in my Monday focuses just because I'll have a better understanding. I think with these pages, sometimes because there is the blank empty spots, if I find out about something, I will go ahead and add it in onto these pages before that date. However, usually what happens is I go ahead and fill it out on the pages themselves. I do have this calendar here, which I do change a little bit because I change it to reflect more this one, which goes from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just because that's usually what my work schedule is like. I know I work 4 to whatever, and then I go to bed around 9 o'clock, but the rest of my family goes to bed later. So that's, to me, that was the best workaround. So that's usually what I do. But yeah. Good morning, Dragonlings. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like 5 till. I have no alarm set today because I'm not going anywhere. I'm off work. We don't have any plans for today. Justin has work. Like, our plans for today are to finish up 4-H stuff and get ready for the fair. And that's pretty much the extent of it. However, my internal clock, no matter how late I go to bed, seems to think that between 4 and 4:30 is when I should wake up. So, I woke up just before 4:30. I had no alarm set. And now I'm wide the fuck awake. The worst part is, other than a couple monsters, which I only drink one of those a day if I can help it, I'm out of caffeine. So that is fun. And I don't want to drink caffeine yet. Might later. I am going to go into town before my husband has work so that I can pick up soda for myself and him, because apparently we're both low. I'm out and he's low. He's on his last bottle. And other than that, I also going to pick up water too for the kids and myself. Other than that, my plan today is to knock some chores out. I'm going to help the girls with their 4-H stuff as needed, but mostly they're going to be left onto their own devices because that's just the way we do things around here. What else was I gonna say? Gwen has to make 2 more banana breads today for her 4-H project, and then she needs to do her display board, so my camera's gonna get used a lot for pictures. Same with Grace. Grace has to do her display board. I think she's finished her, like, figuring out what she's gonna do. Gwen has, like, everything not only written down, she's written down her demonstration speech, she has written down the things she needs to put on her project board. She's also drawn out a display of what her project board is going to look like as far as the pictures and stuff go. The only other thing I have to do is register her banana bread for open class, and I can't remember if there's something else I need to register for open class or not, but I need to do that one. Open class isn't open yet though, so like registration for it isn't open yet. In the meantime, since I'm up so early, I think I'm going to knock out a little bit of planning. I did a lot of it yesterday, but like I'm going to plan for today and figure out what all I want to do today to make today great, basically. And then we will go from there. I also need to do my weekly review. Probably should catch up on my journaling because I haven't done that the past couple of days. And yeah, I need to do schoolwork at some time today. And that's pretty much the extent of my plans. So hopefully I don't take a nap today, but with waking up at 4:30, those are the days I take naps because I haven't had enough sleep. Let's see how much sleep I've gotten today according to my watch. Like I'm yawning because I'm tired, but I'm not like sleepy tired. God damn, I think it's, okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, I got almost 7 hours of sleep according to this. 6 hours and 41 minutes. This says I fell asleep at 21:55, which I think is 9:55. And I woke up at 4:36. So apparently I got up a little later than I thought. But I know that was when I got out of bed. Because I had to go to the bathroom. Because I was going to try to go back to sleep. And then my body was like, nope, you need to pee. Okay, so that being said, I probably have already shown some clips of the library, which is my office area, during the spring/summer/fall. The library is where I tend to work. The goal is to clean it up. We want to get the bookshelves reorganized. I want to get all of my stuff off those bookshelves and make it just for books. However, at the same time, I'm going to be culling down some of my books because I am not reading physical books the way I used to read them. And honestly, neither is my husband. He will only read physical books, but I can't remember the last time he picked up a book. And I know it was a Dresden Files book because he's read all of those, and every time a new one comes out and we get it in paperback, he reads it. We do not get hardcovers if we can help it. We have a couple of hardcovers. I think we got Battleground because it was like $1. But mostly we do not get hardcovers. We get paperbacks, so we wait for books to come out on paperback if we can help it. And yeah, I think it's time to cut down on the number of paperbacks we have just because I'm not reading them, he's not reading them, they're just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, and I'd rather them go to people who are going to read them. My library does take donations, however, I don't remember how that process works. I've donated books to them before, both in North Carolina and here in Montana, and I don't remember the process here in Montana. I know that for a while North Carolina was not accepting donations because they were just getting the same books over and over again. So I think that's what I'm going to do today, at least this morning, is start cleaning up the library. Some things I won't be able to do because it means moving stuff around that's going to be too noisy to wake everyone up, and I don't want to do that. But there are other things I can do that won't wake everyone up. Like I can clean off my desk right now as I'm talking to you. Because I left everything out when I did my planning yesterday. I have already planned for the entire week next week. I kind of had to because next week is going to be an extremely busy week. I've got work, Justin's got work, the kids have swing practice, they have divisionals, we also have fair, the Mariah's Fair. And yeah, it's going to be an extremely busy week next week, and I wanted to make sure that I was ready for it. Like, I can show you a clip of what all we have going on just from planning, and that doesn't account for everything, because it does not account for drive times between everything. Oh, there was one thing I didn't even mark out because we're not doing it. Oh, I did mark it out somewhat, so, but mark out the rest of the way. We'll just hang out at the fair that day. Okay, for the next hour. Okay. But the reason that's not going to work is because, oh, that was dumb. Leave that open. Beep. Okay. But the reason that's not going to work, like, I had us going from fair to swim practice to fair again. And it's not going to work because, they'll either have to leave the fair early to make it to swim practice on time, or they're going to have to be late to swim practice and still leave that early to make it to back to fair on time. So I think we'll just skip that practice and go straight to just stay at the fair. So this is my hectic week next week. And the reason nothing for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is blocked off is because of the fact that on Friday at some point we got to finish packing for Chester, drive to Chester, and the girls and I have to make our camp out in our tent. I don't know if we'll have access to power or water, so I am treating it as open areas instead of like blocking anything in, because I don't know what we're going to be doing that weekend yet. I will probably know closer to that weekend, but as of this moment on Saturday, Sunday of the prior week, I have no clue. So this is what our week looks right now, not including what we're going to be doing Friday evening all the way to Sunday evening. And I hate it that divisionals and fair are on the same week, because we're going to miss all of Saturday's activities, and we're going to miss all of Sunday's activities because of divisionals at the fair, which sucks. Reward ceremony is Sunday afternoon, and we are going to miss that because, or not Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning at 11. And we're going to miss it because the girls are going to be in with me in Chester, and we're not going to be leaving Chester until Justin comes and gets us in the evening, which is going to be long after divisionals end. So that's fun. Yeah. That's just the way it works, though. We had to pick and choose, and because this is the year that the girls qualified for the divisionals this year, I was like, let's do divisionals, and they agreed. So that's what we're doing. So, all right, I think I've chatted enough. We're going to go ahead and get started. I need to first write down a list of everything I need to get done today, and then we will get started on doing said stuff. So, here we go. Things I have to mention that I haven't been is that I have so many video ideas, and some of them are like responses to videos I've seen other people do. Others are just like things I've been wanting to do, and I have thoughts to do them. And then I see other channels do them, and I'm like, motherfucker, I thought of that months ago. And it's, in a way, it's a little, it's not that I'm mad at them for doing the same video that I've been thinking about doing. It's just that I feel like then I'm copying them, even though I've been thinking about doing that video idea for like months at a time. And it's, sometimes that feeling sucks. I wish that I had the time and the energy to do things like when I think of them, like if I had time to plot out how I'm going to do a video and then just film it right then and there. And yeah, I guess I could be doing that in the time I'm doing these like chatty vlogs, but these chatty vlogs take a lot less mental energy than sitting down, scripting a video, filming that video, editing that video, and uploading it. And a lot of times what I do is I tend to do all of that portion, the scripting, the vlogging, the scripting and the filming of it, like within a day or two of getting the idea, and then it just sits on my computer and the footage rots for months. I have video footage from 3 years ago I still haven't used, even though I filmed them, just because I can't pull up the energy to do more than when I'd sit down the last vlog. I'm a few weeks behind on vlogs too, just because they take me so long to do. It takes a lot less time than it used to because I've simplified my process so much, but it still takes a long time to do them because I have to watch the video footage over and over again to cut and edit them. And it's just, in a way, it's very disheartening. Because I do have all these video ideas. I actually have a notebook around here somewhere filled with video ideas, and I have noticed a lot of the video ideas I had, I think I started that notebook back in like 2018, 2017, something like that, and I have noticed that there's a lot of channels now that are doing some videos that I remember writing down in there many, many years ago, and I'm just like, I wish I had done that video when I thought of it, kind of thing. And then I see some other videos now that are being posted that I'm like, that looks like a great idea, but I don't want to do it because it looks like I'm copying their idea. Not to say that you can't do a video that someone else has already done. It just feels disingenuous, not the right word. I don't know how to describe it. Can you guys help me with that? Do you guys ever get that feeling where like you want to film something and you have a video idea and then you see someone else do it and it feels like you can't do it now? Like, what? It's a form of imposter syndrome, I guess. That's the closest thing I can do, or can describe it. It's some kind of imposter syndrome that makes you sit there and think you can't do something just because someone else has already done it now. Even if it's something you've been thinking about it for months. Not to say that it was something that you came up with, because not necessarily an original idea, but just like it was a video idea that you wanted to do for months, especially like when a bigger channel does it. Like when a bigger channel does a video that you've been thinking about for months and then all of a sudden you do get the chance to sit down and film it and do it, it does look especially like you stole their idea. And some people do get irritated with stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of why I don't film very many videos anymore, why I do mostly vlogs. And I am very careful if I have seen that video idea done before. I am very careful and I mention that they've done a video like that, because I don't want anyone mad at me for doing videos that, even if I have been thinking about doing it for months, when I finally do get to do it, someone else has already done it and they're like, hey, you just copied blank 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 blank's idea. And I'm like, but I didn't. I've been thinking about doing this for months. And they just uploaded their video like 2 days ago. What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on something like that? Because like that happens to me all of the time, and I'm just like, by the time, especially like as soon as I see, and it usually is the larger channels not saying that the larger channels are the ones mainly doing this, that they're publishing videos that I've been thinking about doing for months, and then all of a sudden I don't want to copy them. Not to say that, but it's just that those are the channels that if you do a video and they have done it recently, someone is going to come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, you copied so-and-so's idea. You should not be doing that. And they're going to get pissy on behalf of that other person. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it just, as soon as I see someone publish a video like that, it actually is very discouraging, because I'm like, I don't want the hate. I don't have the time or energy to deal with the hate comments that come with something like that. And it just, once I see someone publish a video I've been thinking about, even if it's something I've been thinking about for months or years even, and I finally do get a chance to sit down and edit the footage, all of a sudden I just have no desire to do it when someone else publishes something like that. And I'm just like, fuck. And again, it's not to say that you can't do it, just that it all of a sudden feels like you can't. Does anyone else get that feeling? Like you have video ideas that you want to do and you don't have the time, but when you finally do get the time, you sit down at your computer to start like editing footage like that, and all of a sudden you see a video pop up on your feed that says so-and-so did a video with that exact same idea. How do you guys feel about stuff like that? Like, do you continue putting out that video, or do you just hold off and not do it? Like, I really want to know, because I hold off. And I no longer do it. And in fact, that's why a lot of footage is sitting on my computer unused, because it feels like I can't do videos. With at least not without going back and being like, editing Skye here. I realized so-and-so did this recently, but I filmed this footage like 2-3 years ago and just now uploading it, kind of thing. Like, another thing I have been slowly doing is, as I upload videos, I am getting rid of my older footage. I am no longer keeping footage, because especially like I switch computers so often, and for the longest time I did not upload anything to the cloud. But because I switch computers so often, it's very easy for data to get corrupted as it's transferring. And I have a lot of files on my computer, and some of it is corrupted, some of it's years old, and some of it is corrupted because it's been transferred from database to database to database so many times that it's just, it's unusable footage too. And I'm not talking about like filming footage for like vlogs and stuff. I'm talking about like when my kids were itty bitty toddler babies footage, which really sucks, because it's all footage that is the only place it exists, is on my computer. So one of the ideas I've had also is to do like throwback videos where I take a lot of the old footage I've done and kind of collaborate it and do like a talking vlog at the beginning and the end, where I talk about like, here's what you're going to see in this footage, and at the end be like, this is why I'm doing this, is to have these kind of videos. And I don't know if I'm going to make a secondary channel to throw that kind of stuff on, because it's not going to be stuff that's necessarily related to this channel, or if it's going to be just put on here as like a throwback video from like non-writing days or something like that. Because I have been filming video clips since basically I got a camera, my first phone with a camera. And because it's always been easier for me to take video footage, and then I can grab pictures from video. So whereas a bunch of people are out here just taking picture after picture after picture, which I do too, don't get me wrong, I will take 100 pictures just to get one good shot out of it. That's something my mom taught me, and I do it too. Like, it's burned into my brain. But I also am the person that'll take, like, I will film an entire something or other just to get 3 pictures, kind of thing. So I can do both. It just depends on my mood. So what do you guys think about something like that too, with like a bunch of throwback footage that's not necessarily writing related? Those are my 2 questions for today's vlog. Is, how do you guys feel when you've been plotting a video and you finally get the chance to sit down, film it, and edit it, and you find out someone has already filmed and edited and posted that kind of video? How do you react to it, and what are your thoughts about it? And then 2, how do you guys feel about like throwback footage where it's just a conglomeration of a vlog from video footage from years ago just being thrown into a collaborative vlog kind of thing? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments, just because I want to know. I'm curious. Alright, it's time for me to actually get to work.
So obviously I have not gotten the library done. In fact, I've actually made it a bigger mess than it was, and I gotta figure this shit out. I started with the bookshelves because they was bothering me the most, and I cleaned them up. Ignore the top part, I haven't gotten there yet, and I haven't finished that bookshelf right there or there. But the rest of it looks good so far. So here's what we've got. These are my books that have been on my shelf forever and a day, and I have giving myself a year to finish them. I will be adding them to my Notion TBR list and giving myself a deadline to finish them. If I don't finish them, they go bye-bye. Then my trade paperback books are in alphabetical order all the way to there. I have a candle. There. I have a couple extra right there. Those are going to bother me eventually, but this has room to grow because of the TBR bookshelf. Hopefully we'll weed out a bunch of those books, and that will clear up that shelf to expand that further up. Then I've got my writing craft books on the left, held by the candle, and my school yearbooks on the right. Again, room to expand because I have a lot more craft books. I actually have a list that I'm going to be putting together and an Amazon wish list of craft books, and these are going to be like tried and true books that I've read that I want physical copies of so I can mark them up and take notes in them. And yeah, I'll be getting that put together soon, hopefully. Then I have my research nonfiction books, and yes, I have a book about a porn star. It's for research purposes for a story idea. Don't judge me. And yes, I have a copy of the Bible. This is a copy. I had a Bible like this growing up, a Precious Moments Bible, and I found one on sale and I bought it so I could have the same copy, because I did actually read the Bible even though I'm not religious. There's my writer's block that my dad made for me. These are some Storymatic Kids cards for like writing prompts. I've got a couple of copies of my own books, followed by graphic novels. Then starts my trade paperbacks. This is my shelf. I've got 1 year to read some of these books. Some of them I've read, like the first book, like Married with Zombies. I've actually read the first book. I've tried reading the second one a couple of times, haven't made it through. It feels almost like it's written in a different style because it's not the same as the first one, and it's throwing me off. But I'm giving myself a year to read the whole entire series, reread book 1, try to get through book 2. If I can't get through book 2, all 3 are going to go. Same with like Birth of the Firebringer trilogy and a couple of the other ones. I've started the first book. I haven't made it through the first book, or I haven't finished the second one, so this is their last chance. They've got a year. Then starts my actual paperbacks, which I love paperbacks. I love mass market paperbacks. They are my favorite. They are my tried and true love. But I've got all my mass market paperbacks, and my skeletal unicorn, if we can get low enough, is holding the last of them up. Again, room to grow. Okay. Then starts Justin books. And Justin's, he doesn't care about the size like I do, so all of his are mixed up together, every single one of them. Trade back with mass market and stuff like that. So, and hardback, because he does hardback and I do not. Except for my nonfiction and the yearbooks and maybe some of the writer's books. I do not have hardcover because I do not like hardcover. So, he's got all of his books alphabetical order based on the series, and this is part of the reason why like I couldn't separate them. Not that he minds, he doesn't, but I couldn't separate them. Like, this is all one series, and then they've got that one hardcover in the middle, all series. And the same with the Jim Butcher ones. Actually, he started getting them in mass market. They changed the size of the books. We didn't get that one right away, so that one came later, and then of course they changed the sizes. And then he's got some hardcovers, because like these ones, he couldn't wait for this one to come out in paperback, and he couldn't wait for this one to come out in trade back, so he's got them in hardcover, and it irritates me. That bothers me so much. But lucky for me, I've got that entire series on ebook. Actually, I've got these entire series on ebooks too, whereas he's missing copies. So yeah, he's got all of his books. This bottom shelf, because it is a bottom shelf and these books are heavier, these are all his nonfiction books. So those are his nonfiction books on the bottom shelf, and then it continues on with the rest of his books, his fiction books, until I think he filled up that shelf, and we got one empty shelf, so he has room to grow. And I haven't done that shelf or that shelf, so don't judge me. This is all I've gotten done today. This took lots of work, and I did not time it, and I wish I had, but c'est la vie. I kept taking breaks because I needed him to pick out books, because these are books that are going to people. The Clive Cluster books are going to my mom. The Westerns and the Agatha Christie books are going to work for the residents. And then these are going to be in my on-haul pile. These are all books that I've read and didn't like, or they've been on my shelf for years and I'm never going to read them. Or like in the case of Horns, I have that on audiobook, so there's no reason for me to keep the paperback because I'm never going to read it. I've had it for a while. I don't remember when I got it, but I've had it for a while. Night Circus, I've tried reading multiple times, can't get through it. So, or in some of these cases, these will be books like I'm gonna keep them, but like this one's a duplicate. I actually love this series, but I've already got one on my shelf. So somehow we ended up with a second one. And then there's a few in there where like I've got the ebook version and I don't need the paperback because I've got the ebook. So yeah, I'll do an unhaul video next. But yeah, still got lots of work to do in here, but progress made. Even if it's just itty bitty little progress. I knew I was biting off more than I could chew, which is the reason it hasn't gotten done. So don't judge me.